just thought I would do a quick live just because I enjoy them so much. They are actually getting to be quite fun now that I know how to do them. I am coming from the car dealership and they just checked my car over. I'm going to take a road trip here this weekend. So I'm going to be, well, you know what? I might not be out of touch. Who knows? Because if lives are this easy, I can do them all over the place. Um, I wanted to talk for a minute about love, okay? And one of the things that I find is that, and this is one of the things that I disagree with some people on, I'm trying to think what is her name? The Princella, the Queen Maker? Okay, she says that men don't love, and I disagree with that. I think they do love. I don't think they love necessarily the same way that women love. And I think it's important that we, not assume that women's love is the default, and that the way we love is the only way to love, because I think that love is expressed in different ways, all right? I think that sometimes we as women love too hard because we're trying to love, or we do love the way that we love our children. Which is not the way you want to love men. So women's brains are designed to love, very small children, which you have to have, tremendous amount of patience for. And over huge periods of time, because when your child is very, very young, they depend on you. And in order for, the both of you to survive, you have to be able to love in a way that is unusual, unexpected, amazing, and men don't necessarily love us like that, all right? And we tend to want to love men like that, and that's detrimental to us, okay? A woman should never want to love a man like that because, yeah, that's not healthy. So assuming that we are, the way we love is the default and the way that everybody should love is just a bad idea, okay? I think that men love us in the sense, or men love, and not only us, but themselves, children, they love differently, because a man will certainly live to love. He will love with every ounce of his being. He will love to the point where a man will kill for you, a man will die for you, a man will do a variety of things solely based on his love for you. So to say that that is not love because it's different from women, it's just not true to me. It doesn't ring true, and it doesn't mean that the way that we love, which is with that that huge amount of patience, like we love our children, is the right way to love. All right, so women's love I don't think should be considered the default of how love is. Somewhere in the middle, or maybe something completely different, because I think love just looks different. So I think when we look at love, we can't say, you don't love as hard as me. Well, men do love hard. They just love differently than women. And I think we always need to keep that in mind, when we're having discussions of men and women, because I think sometimes we want and expect men to think like we do. And I'll give you an example, okay? I always tell people I have great friends, and I really do. I have great friends. They love me. We have been friends for many, 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 many years, okay? And the way my friends love me is completely different from the man in my life. And that's been, any time when I've been in a relationship, okay? My friends love me with a motherly love, okay? In fact, I call one of my friends mom because she moms me, okay? She's very concerned for me and my well-being, and she'll check up on me. She loves me like a mom. Whereas the men in my life have always loved me differently. And if I am expecting them to love me the same way, I'm going to be sorely disappointed, because men, not only do they not love you like a mom, they love you like a man. They are irritated when you try and love them like a mom sometimes. Oh, they want to be babied when they're sick, but they don't want to be mothered by their significant other, by their wife, by their girlfriend, okay? That annoys the heck out of them. So when we think of love, I think we need to just, kind of broaden how we look at it. Not assume that the way women love is the default, because if you are expecting the man in your life to love you the same way that your mother loved you, the way that your best friend loves you, the way, other people in your life love you, you're going to be sorely disappointed. All right. So I don't think of it as a lesser love. I think of it as just a different kind of love. Love has many forms, love has many faces, and putting the expectation on men to love us the way that we love, I think brains are just wired differently. I have learned to take people as they are, just take the time to just look at them for who they are, and accept them for who they are. And you have to accept the frailties as well. And that's why I always think it's important for women to have a large community. Because if you are a woman, and a lot of women need this, if you are a woman who needs motherly love, you cannot expect that from your spouse, okay? Men do not love in a motherly way. You have to have friends, you have to have family around you that love you in that motherly way. And when I say that motherly way, I mean that will love you in a way that they check up on you, they give you hot soup when you're sick, they do motherly things, which means a lot of it is intuitive. My friends give to me intuitively. Well, you're going on a trip, I think you're going to need this. And they give to me out of intuition, not so much for what I ask for. Whereas men, I think, are simpler creatures. You have to tell them what you want. You have to tell them, look, I need you to do this, that, and the other. Now, some of it they'll do on their own because, they've been trained through life to do certain things. But some of it, because, certain things are unique to you, you have to tell them. Whereas me and my friends, we can intuit enough about each other where we can finish each other's sentences. I was driving in the car with one of my friends and her daughter, and the daughter was in the back seat cracking up, and she's like, "You two finish each other's sentences," and we're like, "Oh, we do?" Yeah, and because we had been friends for so long, we know how each other thinks. We know what the other one wants. We know what the other one needs. So women can do that, and you do that because. Well, I'll tell you what I believe. I believe that women are able to do that because you have to communicate with babies. Babies cannot speak for the first couple of years. So you got a baby and you got to figure out what's wrong with this baby. You have to figure it out without that baby being able to tell you what's wrong, what it needs, what's going on. And as a mother, you do that, and you do it all the time. When your baby is young, you'll do it for the first 2 years. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Do you need to change? Do you need to take a nap? Do you need to be picked up? Do you need to be walked? Do you just want to sit on the hip? Do you want to, just sit here and talk to me while I'm working? What does this child need? And so you pick up all those cues. And can men do that? I think eventually, but because we are typically the carers of very small children, we can intuit what those children want. And once you've been through that, then you do the same thing with your friends. If you've ever had really close friendships, men's friendships are just different. They sit around, play games together, talk, smack, whatever men do. Whereas you used to sit a bunch of girls together, and man, they'll talk for days on end, and will finish each other's sentences, know each other inside and out, because not only are women trained to look for the small details, we are really and truly interested in each other in that way. So it's just a different relationship. And when you see a bunch of girls talking, man, they're talking, they're pouring out their hearts. You see a bunch of boys and they're hitting each other, knocking each other down, giving each other crap, calling each other's names. There's still camaraderie there, but it's different from the girls. So that's why I say you cannot expect the same kind of love from men that you get from women. And I think a lot of us are disappointed sometimes because we expect that he should know that. No, he doesn't intuit, not like another woman will. So that was one of the things I wanted to discuss, because sometimes I'll hear women say, "Oh, he just doesn't love me enough." Well, he doesn't love you the way you want to be loved. He doesn't love you, or maybe he doesn't know how to love you the way that you want to be loved. So it has to be that community that comes in sometimes to bring you the additional love that you need. And if you're trying to wring it out of a man, he doesn't know how to give you what you need. You know, a lot of times they do not know how to give you what you need because they don't know how that works. Whereas women, we do. Okay, so always build you a community of close friends who are women. All right, and continue to build them throughout their life because that's important too. Having a younger group of women in your life is important because they bring a newness into your being that with your old friends you're not going to get. Because if you look, sometimes you'll see women who'll sit around and baby, we will get old and crotchety and mean and bitter. But when you bring a younger person in, they bring in a different spirit, a different vibrancy that we as older women will not cultivate on our own. We just can't do it sometimes. And so it's important. That's why, you know, bring in your nieces, bring in your granddaughters, make younger friends so that you can continue to grow and to see a different perspective. And that's a lot of times I'll see like on TikTok where, you know, you have a woman who's in her 60s and she's angry and she's bitter and, you know, so many things have gone wrong. It's like, when you bring in younger people, they'll go, you know, they'll bring in a different understanding and they will help you sometimes be able to work through some of that. So that's why, you know, it's important to not only have sisters and have your mothers, but you also have to have your nieces, your daughters, and your granddaughters, the younger women who come in to support you too, because they are very important. If you just deal with people your own age, and as you get older, I mean, you're getting older and older, you only can think at your level sometimes. And by bringing in younger people, that's why, you know, when I see women with their granddaughters, they are usually so thrilled because, you know, that granddaughter is bringing in some new energy. She reminds her of when she's younger and a different, you know, perspective from someone who is the same age as she is. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna try and keep these pretty short. I don't think, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? I want to talk about love. Because yeah, don't expect the love that you have and the love that you get from men, because women will give, and they'll like, I gave so much and he gave so little. Well, number one, you probably gave too much, all right? And number two, give some of that love to yourself because a lot of it was meant for you. A lot of it wasn't meant to be given, all right? If you are doing, you know, and let's use time as a barometer. You're using 3 hours a day to pour love onto your spouse. How many hours a day did you spend pouring love on yourself? You know, it needs to be at least 3 hours. And that's not an exaggeration. It needs to be, because if, let's say your spouse didn't give you anything today, but you gave 3 hours worth of care to your spouse, right? Yeah, you're going to be angry and bitter because there's such a big imbalance. And women say, well, how come he didn't give me? And no. Give it to yourself first. Spend that 3 hours on you. And you might think, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. You can do whatever you want to do. You're a grown woman. Pour that love onto you. And once you're full, because you might not need 3 hours, you might need an hour. Go take a nice hot bath, play some music, have some candles on, have a glass of wine. And when you get out, baby, you're full. I'm like, okay, I'm relaxed. Oh, I've had my peace and my calm. And I'm ready to go out and give to other people. But give it to yourself first before you give it to someone else. Make sure your cup is full, and then you're going to give the run over. You're going to give the stuff that other people can have to, you know, add to their lives. But you don't want to give and then be bitter and angry because you're not getting anything back. And that happens a lot with women. We're giving, and nobody is giving to us, not even us. So take your time and plan your days that way. I plan my day so I get the good stuff. And I'm a morning person, so my good stuff comes first thing in the morning. Okay, I'm getting the good stuff. I'm getting it first thing in the morning. I am full. I am happy. All right, now I got all my stuff done. I'm happy. I'm whole. All right, now I'm ready to give to somebody else. I do not pour into someone else. And you know, this is of course different if you have small children, because baby, they will suck every bit of life out of you, and you just need support. But again, the community can help with that. You know, assign your friends some things to do so that you are not so, you know, overwhelmed. You know, exchange babysit. Because I remember there were times where my mother was like, okay, y'all go over here and play. That means she needed some time alone to do, you know, what, when you're a kid, you don't understand that your mom needs time alone. And my mother woke up really early in the morning, just like I did, and I didn't understand why I come down at 5 o'clock and she'd be up by herself. I'm like, you know, she's like, go back to bed. Okay, that was her alone time. So give yourself the gift of giving to yourself first. Give to other people what is left over, or what is the overflow after you've given to yourself, and it will give you a different perspective on people giving to you, because giving to yourself first means you don't have, you know, a constant deficit of attention, a constant deficit of love in your life, because you're giving yourself the best parts first. And you know, teenage girls do that automatically. And if you've had a teenage, you know, daughter, you'll be like, oh my God, she's getting on my nerves, because she's pouring it all into herself and not giving you any. All right. So do what you need to do to take care of yourself first and foremost. All right, I'm gonna end there. Thank you so much for watching my live. I'll pick some different topics, but I love you all and have a great day.